The 2018 joint press conference with Benin's President Patrice Talon and French President Emmanuel Macron renewing their commitments to the return to African countries of works of art looted by France. Since then, Benin has claimed the return of some of its artworks, many of which should have been repatriated. But the Beninese authorities decided to exhibit them in October at the Kai Brownlee Museum in Paris, then in January 2022 at the Aina Palace. Cécile Zinsou, art historian and president of the Zinsou Foundation, questions these decisions. It is difficult to explain and to understand why the government of Benin thinks that exhibiting in Paris makes more sense than exhibiting in Ouidah, where the building of the National Museum has been entirely restored to accommodate these works, precisely since the process was launched. Today for us it is a surprise and a misunderstanding. The government seems to want to say that it is a tourist operation, and we are trying to argue that we have been waiting 129 years for these works in Benin, and we would like to be able to see them now at home, and that perhaps they have been sufficiently in France, and that it is perhaps not worth waiting another 4 months. The 26 works of the royal treasures of Abomey will be housed in the Ouidah History Museum before joining the future Museum of the Epic of the Amazons and Kings of Dahomey in Abomey. The institution is financed by a grant of 35 million euros from the French Development Agency. Benin has been restoring the Museum of Ouidah, and by doing things well and in a rather short time shows that we can quite accommodate these works in good conditions as was planned. For Cécile Zinsou, it is important that African youth finally have access to their heritage, their culture, and therefore their history. The first exhibition outside the walls of the Kai Brownlee took place in Cotonou. It was the exhibition on King Beanzon. 275,000 people came to see it in 3 months, and I think the numbers speak for themselves. This is perhaps the best answer to people who think that heritage is not interesting. For all parents who are raising children, there is a desire to know their history and understand their culture. I believe that this is a universal feeling. Benin is no exception to this, and perhaps in some African countries it is not yet visible because there may be other interests. But as soon as we give people the possibility to appropriate their culture, they do it, and it is obvious today in Africa.